Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. Today let us learn more about physical geography by solving few more multiple choice questions. So let us get started now. Today's video is on karst topography. So let us get started now. Which of the following statements is or true regarding limestone and chalk? Limestone and chalk are sedimentary rocks of organic origin. They are derived from the accumulation of corals and shells in the sea. They are insoluble in rainwater. So here statement A is correct, statement B is correct, statement C is false. Therefore, the right option is option 2, A and B only. So limestone and chalk are sedimentary rocks of organic origin derived from the accumulation of corals and shells in the sea. So what are sedimentary rocks? If you want detailed explanation, please watch one of the videos on physical geography. So among the first 3 to 4 videos on physical geography, there is explanation on sedimentary rocks. So limestone and chalk are the sedimentary rocks of organic origin. They are derived from the accumulation of corals and shells in the sea, and they are soluble in rainwater. They are not insoluble. They are soluble. They are soluble in rainwater. They are not insoluble in rainwater. So the right option over here is option 2, A and B only. So limestone is soluble in rainwater, and rainwater usually contains carbon dioxide. So this combination, when limestone mixes with rainwater containing carbon dioxide, it forms a weak acid. It forms a weak acid, and therefore a region with large stretch of limestone possesses a very distinct type of topography. You cannot compare this with normal topography, but this region develops a distinct type of topography, and this topography is known as karst topography. Please remember karst topography. And why is this named as karst topography? Because it is named after a region called Karst, that is a district in Yugoslavia. Karst is a district in Yugoslavia. Please remember Yugoslavia. It's a European country. So since Yugoslavian Kars district has such topography in a more pronounced manner, this topography is named as Kars topography. Second question says, which of the following statements is or true regarding limestone? Limestone is made up of calcium carbonate. Dolomite is made up of manganese and calcium carbonate. A region with large stretch of limestone is known as karst region. Here, statement A is right. Statement B is wrong. Statement C is right. That's the right option is option 3, A and C only. So, limestone in its pure state is made up of calcite or calcium carbonate. Calcite or calcium carbonate, please remember. And chalk is a very pure form of limestone. Please remember that chalk is the purest form of limestone. And when limestone contains magnesium, not manganese, magnesium, when limestone contains magnesium, then it is called dolomite. So dolomite in other words means a combination of magnesium plus calcium carbonate. So when magnesium and calcium carbonate combines, dolomite is formed. Therefore, dolomite is made up of magnesium and calcium carbonate, not manganese. As I've already told you in the last question, region with large stretch of limestone is known as karst region, named after the Karst district of Yugoslavia. Third question says, consider the following statements regarding karst topography. There is a general absence of surface drainage in karst topography. Karst regions are often extremely fertile. So here statement A is correct, statement B is false. Therefore, the right option is option 1, A only. There is general absence of surface drainage as most of the surface water would have gone underground. So if water flows on the landform such as karst topography, so with limestone as dominant rock, so then what happens is the water that flows seeps inside. Since limestone is soluble, the water seeps inside. Therefore, most of the times or usually there is general absence of surface drainage as most of the surface water would have gone underground. Streams rising on other rocks only flow over limestone for a short distance. They flow only for a short distance and they go underground. They disappear underground. For the greater part of their course, they cut their way along the joints and fissures of the rock, wearing out a system of underground channels. So, when they come underground, here they cut underground channels. So, here they cut their way along the joints and fissures of the rocks. So, if this is the joint, here they come or they flow across these joints. They cut their way along the joints and fissures of the rock, wearing out a system of underground channels here. So the surface valleys are therefore often they are dry. When the water penetrates to the base of the limestone and meets non-porous rocks, so here you consider this as a non-porous rock, only then it re-emerges onto the surface as a spring or resurgence. So when it reaches here, when the water reaches deep underground and when it reaches non-porous rocks, limestone is porous rock. That is why water seeps underground, and when water ultimately reaches a non-porous rock, it comes out, it re-emerges as a spring or resurgence it is called as. So karst regions are not often extremely fertile. Karst regions they are often barren. They are often barren and at best carry a thin layer of soil. A thin layer of soil. The porosity of the rocks and absence of the surface drainage make vegetative growth difficult here. Therefore, they are not extremely fertile. Limestone can usually support only poor grass and short turf. Fourth question says, which of the following statements is or true regarding karst topography? Sheep grazing is possible in karst topography. Limestone vegetation in tropical karst regions is usually luxuriant. Population is usually high in karst regions. Stalactites and stalagmites are the characteristic features of karst regions. So here, statement A is correct. Statement B is correct. Statement C is wrong. Statement D is correct. Therefore, the right option is option 3, A, B, and D only. So, as I've already told you, limestone usually support only poor grass and short turf. Therefore, some sheep grazing would be possible in karst topography. Please interlink this point. If there is poor grass present, then obviously sheep grazing will be possible. Limestone vegetation in tropical regions, however, is luxuriant. So this is an exception. Where in the non-tropical regions, only sheep grazing is possible due to the presence of poor grass. However, as an exception, limestone vegetation in tropical regions is usually luxuriant. Why? Because of the heavy rainfall all year round. There will be heavy rainfall all year round. Throughout the year, there will be heavy rainfall, and therefore, there will be luxuriant vegetation in comparison with non tropical regions. Settlements are scattered, and population is usually often sparse. It is usually sparse, it is not high population. And stalactites and stalagmites are the characteristic features of karst regions, which I'll be explaining to you a little later. Fifth question says, consider the following statements regarding karst topography. Swallow holes are small depressions carved out by rainwater in karst region. Gapping hill is an example for sinking hole. So here, both the statements are correct. Therefore, the right option is option 3, both A and B. On the surface of the limestone, there will be numerous swallow holes, which are small depressions. So if you look at this picture, you can see this is a small depression, and this is carved out by solution where rainwater sinks into the limestone at the point of weakness. So as the rainwater comes and as it starts flowing, so at the point of weakness, this is the point of weakness over here. At this point, the rainwater sinks into the limestone. So it sinks into the limestone at the point of weakness, creating small depressions. So they are also known as sinkholes. These are also called as sinkholes. So Gapping Hill in Yorkshire. Please remember, Gapping Hill in Yorkshire is a fine example, and these holes usually they grow in size. They grow in size through continuous solvent action. So with heavy rainfall, this will become bigger, and then it starts growing with subsequent rainfalls. Sixth question says, consider the following statements regarding karst topography. The enlarged limestone joints are called grikes. The name karst is derived from karst district of Yugoslavia. So here, both the statements are correct. Therefore, the right option is option 3, both A and B. So if you look at the picture over here, you will understand what are claims and grinds. So limestones are usually well jointed. If you look at this picture over here, you can see the limestone are well jointed, and it is through these joints and cracks that rainwater finds its way. So when the rainwater comes, it only finds its way into the underground through these joints as well as cracks. So therefore, The progressive widening by the solution enlarges these cracks. So if you look at the picture over here, the cracks have got enlarged. The cracks have got enlarged. Please see, cracks have been enlarged here. And these cracks have developed into trenches, and a most intriguing feature called limestone pavement will be developed. This is the limestone pavement, and the enlarged joints are called as grikes. So here, due to the action of water, the joints have got enlarged, and this is called as grikes. So this is called as grikes. So why this happens? This happens because rainwater finds its way to the underground to the joints. In the process, what it does is it enlarges the joints, and when it gets enlarged, it is called as grikes. So this enlargement actually results in the creation of a limestone pavement, and the isolated rectangular blocks are termed cliffs. So now this is an isolated block. If you look at this picture over here, the one which I marked just now, this is isolated block, and this is called as clints. This is called as clint. So the limestone pavements may have been formed beneath the soil and are now exposed by the removal of the soil cover. So as shown in the figure. So this could be below the soil, and it could get exposed by the removal of the soil cover. So this is what is grikes and clints. The name karst is derived from the karst district of Yugoslavia, as I've already told you. Seventh question says, consider the following statements regarding karst topography. Many dolines coalesce to form swallow holes. Uvala is formed due to merger of several swallow holes. So here both the statements are false. Therefore, the right option is option 4, neither A nor B. So the correct explanation for this is that number of swallow holes coalesce to form a larger hollow, and that is called as doline. So if you consider this as one swallow hole, this is as one swallow hole, and please remember, swallow hole is formed when water seeps into underground forming a depression. So this is the swallow hole. So when two or three swallow holes combine to form a larger hollow, this is what you call as doline. It is called as doline. And when such several dolines, here is another doline formed due to the merger of two or three swallow holes. So when two dolines combine, when two dolines combine to form a larger hole, then that is called as wala. That is called as wala. Please remember, very, very important. These are keywords. If you know all these keywords, it will be very, very easy for you to understand limestone and chalk landform, and you can expect one or two questions in various examinations ranging from police constable to IAS. That's why this video is for you. So, Uvala is a larger depression in comparison to Dolin, and Dolin is larger than a swallow hole or a sinking hole, swallow hole or a sinking hole. And some of the Uvala are mile across, containing much clayey soil from the limestones weathered after their subsidence. So, Uvala ranges from miles to kilometers. Please remember. Consider the eighth question now. Match the following region, country. Causes, Yucatan Peninsula, Cockpit country, Mexico, Jamaica, France. So, Causes district is in southern France. So, one is C. Yucatan Peninsula is found in Mexico. So, 2A. Cockpit country is found in Jamaica. 3B. So 1C, 2A, 3B. So option 4 is the correct option here. So what are this? Causes, Yucatan Peninsula and Cockpit country. These are some of the major limestone countries of the world. These are some of the major limestone countries of the world. Consider the ninth question now. Match the following caves country. Batu Caves, Postoina Cave, Carlsbad Cave, USA, Malaysia, and Yugoslavia. Batu Caves are found in Malaysia. So 1B. Postoina Cave is found in Yugoslavia. So 2C. Carlsbad Cave is found in New Mexico state of USA. 3A. So 1B, 2C, 3A. So option 3 is the correct option here. So what are these caves? These are some of the well-developed limestone caves of the world. Limestone caves of the world. Please remember these examples because you can use them while answering mains examination question of KS if at all there is any question regarding karst topography or limestone landform. Consider the last question for the day. Which of the following statements is or are true regarding karst topography? Stalactites are downward growing pinnacles that hang from the cave roofs. Stalagmites are shorter, fatter, and more rounded in comparison to stalactites. Pillars are formed when stalactite and stalagmite join. So here all the three statements are correct. Therefore, the right option is option 4, A, B, and C. When the subterranean streams descend through swallow holes, as I've already told you, the rainwater or any water that gets down or seeps down through the swallow holes to underground passages, and the region may get honeycombed like this as caves. The region may be honeycombed with caves and caverns, some containing ponds and lakes. So here, as you see this figure, you can see the ponds and lakes as well. So let us say if at all there is a swallow hole somewhere over here. So through this, if water starts seeping down, if water sweeps down here, then it will get collected in this cave. In this cave, forming ponds and lakes below the caves. The most spectacular underground features of the limestone caves are stalactites, stalagmites, and pillars. You need to know stalactites, stalagmites, and pillars. Very, 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 very important. So please give 5-star rating to this. So stalactites are the sharp, slender, downward growing pinnacles. So here this is the stalactite. This is called as stalactite, while this is called as stalagmite. Stalagmite. I'll tell you what are pillars. So what is a stalactite? Stalactite are the sharp, slender. Slender means thin, downward growing. See, look at the direction. It's downward growing pinnacles that hang from the cave roofs. So if this is the cave that is formed due to the limestone landform, then this cave will have downward growing, sharp, slender pinnacles called as stalactites. So the water carries calcium in solution. Whenever the water comes here, whenever the water comes to the swallow holes, as we already know that limestone landforms contains calcium carbonate. So when calcium carbonate mixes with water, it forms carbonic acid, which is a weak acid. So when the water that carries calcium in solution, when this lime charged water evaporates, so as it comes down, it will form something like this because it starts dripping down. It starts dripping down, but once the water evaporates, it leaves the solidified crystalline calcium carbonate. So, as the water completely gets evaporated, it leaves solidified calcium carbonate in this form, and this hangs from the roof of the limestone caves, and this is called as stalactite. The water stalagmites. As moisture drips from the roof, it trickles down the stalactite and drops on the floor. So this stalactite over here, it drips water. As it drips water, here right from the down direction as well, the water droplet that falls on the surface starts collecting. It starts collecting in the upward direction to form stalagmites. These are stalagmites. So they are shorter in comparison to the picture itself says, in comparison to the stalactites, stalagmites are shorter. Stalagmites are usually shorter. They are also fatter. They are also fatter when compared to the stalagmites, and they are more rounded. So stalagmites are shorter, fatter, and more rounded when compared with the stalactites. Over a long period, what happens is they both meet. Stalactites and stalagmites, after a very long period, they meet to get connected, and when they get connected, they form the pillar of the cave. So this is nothing but the pillar. So this is the pillar. So such features are commonly seen in any well-developed limestone caves. Examples: Batu Caves of Kuala Lumpur, Mammoth Caves, Kentucky and Carlsbad Cave of USA, and Postojna Cave of Yugoslavia, as I have told you in the last question. So this is stalactite. Please remember, this is stalactite, downward growing slender pinnacles, and then the upward growing pinnacles are stalagmites. When stalactites and stalagmites connect, they form pillar. They form the pillar. Very, very important. So this is all about limestone caves, limestone landforms, and karst topography. You have learnt lot of things in this video, be it swallow holes, sinkholes, dolins, uvala, and then stalactites, stalagmites, how are pillars formed, claims, grikes, why there is no surface drainage in the karst topography, etc. These are some of the very, very important questions you could encounter in any examination. Please go through the video meticulously, religiously, and note down these points. This will be handy for KAS mains examination as well. Thank you.